Hey guys, how's it going? So I did a little bit more on the trailer. As far as finishing up those pockets that we did on the last video. And of course they're much neater than the first one. It's kind of the way things go. So I got 4 of those all the way down. They all have a jam bolt on one side to take the play out of them. And they also lock the bench into place so the bench cannot move around, but it's not bolted down, which is kind of what I wanted. So on the end, I kind of made it go flush. It's flush with the end of the counter. Yeah, it could still swing. Should be able to still swing. And use it if I want to use it on the side or whatnot. So that's worked out pretty good. I was going to set up and make for the bench grinder to have its removable setup sleeve too, but it smoked on the last video, showing what a piece of crap that it was. But one piece I do have is the it's a handheld greenlee bandsaw, and it's meant for, you know, you got a piece of metal somewhere, you grab it and cut the piece, and the machine is in your hand. But along with trying to think, it might be Milwaukee, there's a Portaband, or whoever makes Portaband. They make a jig for it that you can clamp down and use it more like a tabletop bandsaw than a handheld. And I kind of want to do the same with the machine that I have, although we're just going to have to fabricate our own setup because the one I have is ancient and they don't make one for it. My hole's got a lot better. To the fact that I grabbed a good jigsaw that can cut straight. Product placement. This one I've had for a while. I got it in a free pile. Someone was throwing out, and I believe there was just something wrong with the switch at the time, and now it's been great. So that made for cutting the pockets nice and square a lot better. All right, so let's go. Might as well just take a walk into the garage, and we'll look at that machine. Hopefully the radio's off. Yes, it is. Alright, so here's the machine that I have. And it is, so you can get out of here one hand. Put it on the floor. This will give your arms a workout too. This thing's pretty heavy. Portable bandsaw. And I want to set it up so that it can mount on the bench, something like that. Like that, actually. Have the blade straight at us. And then maybe we'll make a different plate up there, a little bit more of a flat surface. But we have to be able to figure out how to make this mount to something. I see a bolt hole there and a bolt hole there. It probably had a handle or something on it at one time. But that should be good enough for us to create something. So I think maybe I'll start with cutting a base slab out of that 8-inch wide, 1/2-inch material that we used for the vise, and we'll start building off of that, and we'll probably come off of here. Plus I want to make it so it's removable, so that I can still use it as a handheld unit. So let's see how this goes along for us. So I figured I'd do an 8x8. I'm going to do 2 1-inch slabs. We'll make those the 2 bars going up. My blade's on, way out though. I got to give her a helping hand. Got a new one right there. So I got my sticks made, and the thing I have to kind of clear is where this trigger is, so I kind of let the top do a little bit of a hooky offset. So I figure if I drill that like that, that should keep us kind of clear from that area. And length is good enough. I just want to leave it enough so that the adjusting knob is accessible. You can kind of get your hand underneath it. That should be fine. And then the other one we're just going to cut down to whatever the height of that one ends up being, and we'll just cut that off and drill it. And we'll weld that to the plate, and then we'll see how stable it is. If I find it's kind of flexy and all, I'll see if we can kind of maybe tap off it somewhere else and get a third location on it. But before we do that, we'll build what we got and see how we like it. Well, it's not exactly level, but shooting for the idea. Let's see, those two guys bolted on there. And I figure what I'll do now is I'll slice this one right here, so that'll be the right height. And then I gotta come up with a third leg. It has to have something. I can tell just by looking at it. Maybe the back one of that bolt on the back side there. The only problem with that is, again, I want it so that it can be removable and used as a handheld. And with these two, I was going to put like just wing nuts on them, kind of like what's on the side of a lawnmower or a snowblower, the little handle knobs there. And if I do that on that back one, it might be on the difficult side. Wish there was one more boss right about here. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves again. So let me do that. I'm going to mark that guy, make sure it's square going up and down, and we'll cut that one, and then we can set it on the plate wherever we want and see how it is. Probably even put a couple of tacks in it too. Alright, let's glue that to the plate. Already got a tack or two on it. I need one back there though. See? Yeah. It's not too wimpy. What I think what I might do, I'll make something that just kind of comes up and grabs the tin right here and just rests against it when it's mounted down. That's probably going to be my best bet, I think. So it's not attached to this. It just supports it, you know, something coming off of that. So let me go make something up for here. We'll see how it goes. And I got the piece that I cut off of there. We'll probably just let it rub right up against the case. Maybe we'll kind of shape it like that. So I'll take the flapper disc and I'll roll an angle in like that and probably get us right about there. Stick that right under there. I should do it. I just went and ground a bevel on that. Actually, this case, you guys can't see it. It's a bit on an angle, so probably just kick it on an angle like that. That way it touches across the whole inch of the back of it. So we just need to clean up right about there so we can get a good weld. Do the same on the bottom. And we'll stick that guy on there. I think I'm gonna need a glove for that one. It might get a little hot. I want to hold a little bit of pressure on there so it's got a little bit of preload. I gotta kiss the top just a little bit more. That's better. You guys think? Nail it? All the pressure's going to be pushing that way. I think we'll be okay. So that needs another section of this cut off and welded to the bottom of it, and that will support it in all those locations. Anything I want to do now, I think we kind of need something for here that's a little bit of a flat plate, maybe a piece of angle or something. We need something that makes a little bit of a support of some sort. Yeah. Make a T, and then what we'll do is we'll drill 2 holes on this that it bolts to, and then we could take it off if we want to use it in this capacity, just to give us a little bit of support. Let's go work on that. Yeah, so I'll take that piece of metal actually that I just had. We'll make that the one that bolts to there. I should probably do it on the other side. So if we forget to change the blade, we don't have to take it out of our way. We'll make that bolt to there. We'll cut that off right about there, and then we'll find some flat stock to weld across the top of it. And that we should probably make a little notch in it too, that it kind of fits into the blade a little, the top plate. So I took that bracket off that was on there, this one, and mocked up another little piece of steel, drilled. It's not tapped, but it's just bolted right through. So that should be able to support that. Plus it's removable if I need to take it off in the future. I got a set of GM nuts somewhere for it. They're sitting in here somewhere. So it doesn't back off and vibrate. So now I just want to make a plate up that kind of fits on there. So I'm kind of thinking I'll go the whole length of what that is, and then I'll cut a slice, you know, down the center of it, and I'll slide it on and weld it to this guy, or put a couple tacks on it, then we can take it off and weld it onto that, and that should be a fairly good support. It, you know, it doesn't need a huge table for it, but I think that should be more than enough for just kind of keeping stuff square to the blade when you're trying to cut it. So let me go over to the bandsaw. We'll set up. We'll cut that piece out and clean it up some, and then see if I can get it nice and square and get some tacks on it. Yeah, let's go cut that slice in there. try that. I was trying to give it just a little bit of a relief. And if it looks funny, I'm cutting from the back side of the bandsaw. That's why it looks a little weird. Yeah, let's see how that fits. I guess as long as that slides over, we should be good. Yeah, so I was afraid of this blade's a little fatter. We'll just have to fire this one up and, oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. So I think if we can kind of get a level on that, squared and leveled, get a tack or two right about there, then we should be good. Kind of looks like it's going downhill a little bit though, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe not. Alright, so let me get a square on that, kind of get it so I also got to mark the bottom of it and clean it up for where the weld's going to be. So I got to take care of some of the crap that's on it. You think something like that? But you kind of want to be square to the blade, right? So use that guy. Looks decent. Nothing says that if it's out a little bit, we can't smack her around with a hammer and make it the way we want. So I'll get a tack on that. Hopefully it doesn't pull. I'm only going to weld it on this side, not this side. So I have a feeling it's going to want to lift up like that. But as I said, if it's an issue, we'll just kind of, we'll beat it into submission. So nice and straight. Let's go screw it up. Tacky time. One right in the middle. Yeah, looks okay. Let's go for another one. Get with a better scale than that. That looks pretty damn good. Close enough for me. Alright, so I'm probably going to take it, I'll unbolt it, and we'll get it out of there, and I'll run a nice bead right across that and see if you can mess it up. Yeah, so I welded that up solid, and of course it did what I thought it was going to do. It definitely pulled it to the side. So let's see if we can do a little bit of a gentle persuasion to bring it back. Hopefully I just don't bend the plate. Watch, I went too far, right? It's better. A little more. Try to hit it right at the weld. I say we go with that. What do you think? So let's clamp it down to the bench and we'll turn it on. We'll see how much racket it makes while it tries to grind its new, where it wants to be home. It's ready to go. Let's fire it up. It's got a high and a low speed. It's on high right now. Pretty good. Try a piece of metal that same metal as this. That works pretty good. I think we're all set with that. Now we just got to make the base for it to mount and stand in the trailer. Well, I say we make it earn its keep. This is the piece that we want to weld onto the bottom of it. I figure we'll try seeing how well a straight cut we can get. Maybe, I don't know, going right across, or maybe like 4 separate cuts. We'll figure it out as we go along. Forgot I took the clamp off the bottom of it. There we go. Nice. I like it. I think I gotta remember is that this area is kind of open down below. That you don't stick your fingers in there when you're cutting something. That would hurt. So I figured I'd bring it out here and chalk it up in the setup so that I know that this plate is going to stay completely flat when we do it. What do I need? Hat and gloves, or helmet and gloves. So I'm going to try to get a tack and a tack, and I'll pull it out of there and tack the back side of it. Let's see how the flux core welder decides to play today. It's not. What is wrong with you? Try it again. I just cranked down on the pinch roller tension. I must say I'm liking the Miller more and more. Picture my drive roller is crappy. And let me get that out of there and flip it over. That's a little better. We're run that top. And 180. I say, I gotta grind those welds down a little bit, so it's hanging up on it. I say we plug it in to inverter power, and we'll see how well it works off of the trailer not being plugged in. Inverter's on. That's the power strip for the inverter. We need a piece of crappy metal. There's a piece of crappy metal. Let's see how much the inverter's drawn. So that's fine. The inverter was drawing like 320, 330, something like that. All right, awesome. That's the next piece done. My battery light's flashing. I gotta change the battery out. So I'm gonna run off to a friend's house. I got a beer air tank for the compressor to add on to it. But this may or may not be the end of the video. So if it is, again, guys, thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. Take care. Well, the only thing I forgot about was the quick release knob, so I don't have to use tools to take it apart. So again, these are like lawnmower style something, and they have threads in them. But the problem is I need these to be male, not female. I need the threads kind of sticking out of them. So the only thing I found long enough was that Allen panhead setup. Gotta make it fit down the hole. A little more. That might do it. Where'd it go? What'd you do with it? When you guys moved it when I wasn't looking? Come on now. And I forgot about making it so I can come off the base easy. Well, without tools. Not that I couldn't unbolt it with these two guys anyway, but let's see how these knobs work out. I should probably set you guys down, huh? So, do that. Alright. The squeaking here is the cabinets in the background that are sitting on the floor. I'm ready to put one of those up, I think, across the front. That front wall there. Let's go with the one that's got some protrusion. Let's go for that one. You guys are looking at what I'm looking at. Should be the same. I should put a washer on that. There we go. So now I can just pop those two nuts right off of there, and that should be able to make it so that I could take it off the stand and the whole thing will fit back in its case again too, you know. So I'll bolt those two guys and I can use it as a regular saw. I'm not sure if this is going to be an issue or not if I go to cut steel. I actually think it'll probably help me, you know, using it handheld. So I don't think it'll be an issue, but again, worst case, I just take those two bolts out, this blade will come off, and it was back to the way it was. So probably if you want to cut an angle, you know. Alright, so I'm not too sure about where the second cabinet is going, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to want that one across the front wall right there. It would make for out of the way. I think the only thing that's going to go underneath it is when I bring my welding cart in, it's going to get stored on the floor right there, and then it's probably strapped to the wall. And that space up there is kind of a null and void section. So I think I'll pop this piece of trim off so it can sit flush. And I need it for another area anyway. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and we'll screw that cabinet right there up to it and get it out of my way. She just loves working alone. Sometimes you gotta see what you can do. See, that's gotta be within reach without dropping the screw. It's ready to fall out right now. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Don't fall. Please. Ah, you're gonna fall. I just got a lower. Get rid of that altogether. Let's see, right about there. We go punch a couple more holes in that and drill that sucker permanent. Yeah, as long as it closes, I guess we're good. I got it into the beam, 2 on the bottom, and I think 5 on top. Just rails running down on the inside. Anything. That one's above the track. Pins above the track. I can figure out how to get it in. Intermission. Alright, let's try this again. That works. Now we just need the key that I don't have. I don't think I do. These actually had lights in them too, fluorescent lights that went in the top. But I think if I punch out whatever's in there, just go with a regular deal. That's not bad. That's good for like the stuff that's in cases, you know, drills and stuff. Hardware. Can't get too heavy, but you probably put about, 80 pounds or so in there. And I'll probably take the other one, and I'm thinking probably right above this cabinet. I'm not sure of that yet. I'm gonna wait on that until I kind of get some more stuff in place. That one I pretty much knew that's that area that wasn't spoken for, was spoken for the cabinet, I guess. But over here yet, still needs to go my toolbox, which I need to make the floors not level. It's I forget what you call it, ramp door. It's tapered going in, so I gotta make probably some angle of a platform for the toolbox to sit on. I could take the wheels off of it, and the bottom box probably comes to about right here, and then it's gonna have a top box which probably comes to about right here, and then the lid can flip up. So until I get those in place and confirm that that's what I want to do, I'm going to hold off on that cabinet. I also need to get those out here so that I can wall off this end of the compressor, see where it comes to, and then I just want to make a little access door for grabbing the regulator and adjusting the pressure and turning the switch on and off, that kind of thing, instead of having to open the big door all the time. That feel good? That feel good?